So I've been trying to film this video for the past like 3 weeks. Every time I've had like some free time to go out and film and make some videos for you guys, it has rained and snowed and just been awful weather for literally 3 weeks straight. So now we finally have a beautiful day here in Idaho. It feels great. Don't even have to wear like a coat or anything. And now we can finally reveal something that I've been wanting to share with you for almost a month now. But I promise you, haven't done anything to it. I've just been waiting to share it with you before I started doing anything. And boys, we finally bought a project car. So this will be our first time ever building like a car minus the X3 on the channel. It'll be kind of like from scratch pretty much. And this thing is so cool. So I want to introduce you guys to my 1988 BMW 528e, the E28 generation. And this thing is pretty cool. Let's go check it out. So yeah, we have this 1988 528e. I said the E28 generation. And you know, when it's all fixed up, it'll be a looker. Like, it's not pretty right now, but I'm here to show you like what the vision will be with this car. So I picked this thing up for $1,000. Like, this was a steal, and the car runs, it drives, all the electronics work on it. It's just ugly, and that's fine. We'll only work on it. I need to work on myself. Like, we all can be a little bit ugly sometimes, but this car, it just needs some love. So let's check it out. The thing's like a broken bumper right there, and the paint is pretty non-existent in some places, and the wheels could definitely be refinished, and the trim along here could use some work, and you know, just everything overall. But it's got a face that a mother could love right now. But I love how it has like the kind of a duckbill spoiler on the back, and the really quirky thing about this car has the center mounted exhaust, but that isn't center mounted, it's like slightly off center. So any OCD people don't buy this car, because yeah, the exhaust is off center just slightly, and that's how they all came. It's missing the little side turn things, which those are about like 40 bucks, so they'll be pretty easy to find. And doesn't look too awful, but let's check out the inside. And that's kind of where it's a little rough sometimes, but not like terrible. I actually feel like the outside's like worse than the inside, but you'll see. Oh, I forgot to mention there's no mirror right there either. I'm finding glass for that, but let's check out the inside. I need to get like a little surround for this, which costs like 10 bucks. But as far as like the quality of the door, like the leather only has like a slight wrinkle to it right there, and there's a slight crack on the top, but other than that, like the door panel, solid. And we'll go to the back seats first. Back seats, they're just worn out. Like, I really feel like I could just like condition this leather and it'd be just fine, or just get a cover for the bottom, because the tops are actually not bad, and the padding's like in really good shape, and the back doors are totally like in perfect condition too, and so does that one. And you can see like even all like the stitching and like the perforated leather and everything, like it's actually in really mint condition, and like the power things work too. But let's move along to the front real fast. The driver's seat is a little torn up. It's got kind of a bit of usage out of it. The floor is actually not in terrible condition, it's just dirty. So yeah, but the dashboard's a little cracked in places, and not the prettiest, but other than that, the interior's kind of in good shape. Like, all of this stuff, there's no like cracks or discoloring in the plastic, and all the electronics actually work in the car. The steering wheel's like not even in bad shape or like worn whatsoever. Like, yeah, none of the plastics are broken, and the radio works. The moonroof that it has works, and all the lights on like the diagnostic panel also work. So like, all in all, I'm really not like complaining much for $1,000. I have a car that like 90%, like probably 95% of electronics work, and the car runs and drives, and it was $1,000. And I get a really cool like 88 BMW that when I'm done with it will be really sweet. So I'll show you kind of what I want to do with the car, and then we'll like run down like the logistics on how to make it all happen. The car does have 237,000 miles on it, which is a lot. That's a lot of mileage. But I kind of want to like just do all the maintenance on the engine and just see if it'll just figure out how long it'll run. If we can get this thing to like 500,000 miles, I feel like that'd be kind of cool. And I really feel like we could, because these motors in this, it has the 2.7 liter inline six, the M20, is actually a really good motor and actually really reliable. Not fast, it doesn't have much power. It had 120 when it was brand new, 122, and I'm guessing now being in a high elevation of Idaho and also having this car be almost 40 years old, it's probably pushing like 80, and it's about accurate. I tested the 0 to 60 on this car, and it got a whopping, like blistering, 17.4 seconds. So, should we take this to the drag strip this summer just for the fun of it, just to run it and just see what happens? I think we should, and I also kind of think we should autocross this car and see just how bad this is getting around a racetrack. I think we should do it. Back to like things in this car, it has like cruise control and like I said, like all the controls for the seats, power sunroof, all these diagnostic panels, and like these gauges to like check like all these like different things in the car. So I think when this car is brand new, it was a pretty dang high spec car, and like whoever had it like enjoyed the crap out of it, but they really actually did take care of it. The only wear in the interior is like normal wear, just like from either sun cracking or just wear on the seat. But like even the visors, you can see up here, like in perfect shape. There's no cracking or anything like that, and the headliner's in great shape too, and this car's just in really good shape, and I'm really happy with this purchase. I bought it from this guy who fixes up BMWs here in town, and he had it, but his wife told him he wasn't allowed to have this and also work on his other cars. So I kind of got like the benefit of the wife telling him to get rid of it, and now I got like a solid E28 that runs and drives, and like it's gonna be an awesome project. Yeah, let's get this started up, and I'll say 100% of the time it works every time. Yeah, and it's a healthy sounding motor, and yeah, it doesn't rough idle, it works. But the check engine light did come on right before I left to go start filming this, so I don't know what is causing that. And I feel like these lights aren't accurate, because that one's for like the brake lights and that one's for the coolant, and the coolant has enough fluid in it and the brake lights work, so I don't know what it's warning me about. I did just wash the car today, so I don't know if it's got something in an electrical thing. And there's this really annoying check light that just flashes there, because I found all the turning signal lights work, but one of the turning signal lights, like the light's on, but it doesn't flash when I turn the turning signal on. But the other one flashes, and the rear one flashes on that side when I turn the turning signal on, but the one on the front doesn't. So I'm guessing that's where the issue's coming from, and I don't know what's causing that. But that's why this is a project. We're gonna figure all this out. We wanna make this thing pristine. I wanna put this in car shows. This is what I'm gonna take to my Cars and Coffee, and take it down to Utah and stuff like that when we get the motor all like fixed up and nice. So speaking of that, let's pop the engine and let's check out the motor. All right, we got like a little handle here offset that you just push up, and it has a hydraulic like supported engine base. You don't have to put like a stick up. Okay, here is the inline six M20, the 2.7 liter, and you know, for 240,000 miles, it does not look bad. I mean, granted, full transparency, I cleaned it a little bit, but for 240,000 miles for an engine bay that really just doesn't look like really worn. And I was kind of looking around in all the tubes and belts and stuff, and a lot of this doesn't really seem like cracked or really has much of an issue at all. So I really feel like there might not be much like that we need to do to this. The one thing we will be doing for sure, just for preventative maintenance, is we're going to be changing out the timing belt, the water pump, and the timing belt tensioner. So we're going to replace all those, and I think like the head gasket too, we're going to replace that. Just again, preventative maintenance to make sure the car just lasts, you know? And that should be done on most BMWs every like 50-60,000 miles. So I don't know when the last time it was happened, so we're going to do it anyway. Yeah, and so we're going to do that. And if later down the road you want to add more power to the car, we can try. And so yeah, that's the motor. That's pretty much all we're gonna do on it. So I'm gonna order the timing belt and fuel and water pump this week, and so that'll probably be the first video with this car, is doing that. And yeah, looks down. It's solid. It's quality. Let's just take a look at this. Love the old BMW styling. Had the like the flat front end. I kind of wish I could have got an E30, but like everybody gets E30s, and they're, because of that, they're expensive. And I think just look at pretty much like the E30 styling and kind of get the more like shark nose slanted front end, and all for $1,000. Come on. I do hate the US spec bumpers. I would love to find a European spec bumper, but to find replacement bumpers costs more than the car. So yeah, there's that. And I would love to find like an Alpina like bumper like splitter down there. I'll put a picture of what that looks like right here. But those also cost more than this car does, like as a whole. So we'll see what happens with that. The rear end, probably not going to change much here. I actually really love, like I said, the duck spoiler on the back. Kind of dig the profile of that. And this car actually has really cool like side blades right here. This one's a little loose. Gotta screw this down a little bit, but I'll figure that out later. But I love these like side blades that are on the car, and I think it would be kind of cool if we could make these like a contrasting color, because everybody does these body color, but I feel like having that design element in a different color would be really cool actually. So it's kind of what I'm picturing. Let's talk about big picture of what I want this car to end up looking like, and the color I would love to change this to, which I know, sorry Pierce, I'm going to change the original color. It looks like this right here. This is like green gold flake, like really pretty color that someone did an Alpina version of this car in, and I just think that's so cool. I can't find like the actual like paint to paint it that way. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna sand all of this paint off, get all the rust off too, because there's not much rust, but there's just like little spots around. So we're gonna take all the rust off, and then we're gonna wrap the car after we sand it, prime it, get all the body stuff, put like body filler to fill all the little dents that are around. And then yeah, we're gonna just like completely wrap the car. So we're gonna learn how to wrap cars together. I've never wrapped cars before. I'll probably be calling on a friend Clayton for some help. If you guys know Clayton Stark from Summit Auto Lab, I'll probably be bugging him for any help if he is willing to give advice on how to just do things properly. But he got started off by wrapping cars in his garage, so that's what we're gonna do here. And I feel like the body panels of this car are not going to be hard to wrap. It's not a very curvaceous car, and they're very just like flat. The hardest panel is probably going to be this rear quarter, because this panel goes all the way up to the front. It's a continuous panel, like all the way up to this point. So I'll have to see where, and like cut it and fit it and whatnot. So with it just looking good. Other than that, I feel like the car will be really easy to just wrap and stuff. And here's the moonroof I was telling you about that actually works. It opens, and yeah, it's just a great car. A lot of even like the plastics look pretty good. and whatnot that are usually super sun faded. And the guy I bought it from put like new badges on, so the badges look brand new, which is great. Nice little touch. The headlights do get a little bit of condensation buildup in them. Not sure you can kind of like see on that one a bit. So new headlights will be coming. I kind of want to get ones with the halos on it just to get the classic BMW look. And so we'll probably end up ordering some of those too, which I found those are like $100, so not too bad. But that's the thing with this car, like all the work I want to do to it, the wrapping, the painting, the fixing the mechanical stuff and getting new headlights, I'm probably only going to be in this car total like $2 grand, and that's with the purchase price of the car. And so we're going to have a fully like running, driving, beautiful looking E28 for $2 grand that we can just like take to car shows and then have like date nights, like all that fun stuff. Like hell yeah. So I think that's enough talking about the project car. I say let's hop in and let's go drive a little bit and just, it's not fast. Again, it's not crazy fast. If you want cool driving videos, go watch like my McLaren or Lamborghini videos. But this is still a very fun, delightful car to drive, especially up here in the canyons of Idaho. And so let's hop in, let's go for a drive. Yeah, to start the car, I'm gonna set you up right here because you have to like shake the steering wheel to get it to start. 100% of the time, it works every time. Let's go for a ride. The check engine light is gone. There's nothing wrong with it. And unfortunately, yes, the car is automatic, but for, again, project car for $1,000, I'm not mad at it. And it'll be the first one to deal with. And the next one, I vote we'll get a manual car. I promise. I kind of want to get a BMW Z3. Maybe that'll be the next car. Stay tuned. All right, let's get driving the E28. Like I was saying, this car, not fast whatsoever. Maybe has 80 horsepower and like 80 horsepower left out of the 120 that it was brand new 40 years ago. And being, like I said, I live in a part of Idaho that's almost like 5,000 feet elevation, so with it being naturally aspirated, all that stuff, it doesn't have its full power right now. But it's still such a fun car to drive. It has this big boat steering wheel, which I'm actually probably going to change out just to have a little bit more of a smaller, like tighter steering wheel, because this has a lot of play in it. The car does need an alignment. I very much have to turn to the right a bit to go straight. So I think we'll do an alignment when I decide to change all the suspension parts out. I kind of want to put like all new control arms. I know there's one ball bearing that I believe does need to be replaced. So, but to replace the whole front back suspension, it's about $400. So it's really not bad. And there's a lot of wind noise, so I'm sorry if that comes up on the microphone. The weather stripping right here, not the best, but again, what 80s car has good weather stripping and weather sound deadening? Probably none. But a little bit of water does get in right here, so I can actually like feel the air from outside like coming through on my hand. We're going through some windy Idaho roads, and the car, obviously you can't really take the turns fast in this car, but the car handles them just fine at a reasonable speed of 20 miles an hour. And then when you get up a hill like all right now, you got to really push. That 4-speed transmission really fights to get up the hill. The thing is though, especially with cars like this, you don't buy them to have like an amazing driving car that has like crazy dynamics and all that stuff like that. That's sports car stuff. You buy this car because it's just fun to drive around. Like I almost enjoy driving this more than my X3, because I was driving my X3 on these same roads the other day, and I kind of like almost like cruising in this, going a third of the speed I was going in the X3. But it's just because you're just in something like cool and vintage, and like the big boat steering wheel is like an occasion to drive around with something with it. But also it's always like the fun factor of a car that you don't know if it's going to blow up or not. You just like have always that worry in the back of your head that the engine's just going to explode, and it's just kind of fun. It's kind of fun to think, like, have that little bit of worry and the chance of it. But when the car works, and the car has always worked, which is awesome, but I know there'll be a day when it doesn't. But while the car's working, it's a pretty awesome thing I feel like I really lucked out getting this car for $1,000 and then being able to get it to where I want it to be for another $1,000, like that's it. And then I'll have just like an absolutely gorgeous E28 that I can just cruise around and just like have like peace of mind that it just works and it looks good and I did all the work to it. And so it'll be a pretty good feeling. And so I'm really excited to like go on this journey with you guys to build this car and kind of make it the first like real project of the channel. And this will be kind of like, this is the one, like this is the car for the channel, the first one. The X3 is awesome, but that was a car that I had before I started the YouTube thing, and it's always just been my car and I've always just wanted to do stuff to it, just period. But this is the one I bought for this. I'm justifying buying it for YouTube. And yeah, I just want to document this whole process, run everything through, and I feel like this will just be a fun car if I can get it like working perfectly fine, just to hold on to and just keep. And it's like, own it outright, don't really need to like worry about it going anywhere, and like this is my car. And this is going to be the first full-on like YouTube car to build for the channel, and have the Z branding from like my photography and my media company on it. And it'll just be really cool just to make this like, not even make it mine, just make it ours, because I really want to hear your guys' suggestion what you want to have done to this car. Like, I'm already pretty set on the color. I really want it to be that green, but I want your guys' help. Should I get like chrome BBSs? Should I get bronze wheels to go with the green? There is a thing where you can take actually part of a 3 Series motor and put it on the top end of this motor, and like you replace the top end of this motor and put like a 3 Series one, and it actually makes the car get an extra like 80 horsepower. So we could actually make this car be a little more like faster and have performance and stuff, and get this close to like 200 horsepower. And I feel like that would actually be really cool to have like a car like this with like that much power. And then we could put just bigger wheels on it, and you know, just make this perform as good as it will look. And maybe we should turbo it. Who knows? Then I could have 2 turboed inline 6 cars. But I would really love to actually put just a ton of miles on this car. And if we could have this be like the first like half a million mile E28, I think that would be actually pretty sick. I'm a person that believes that it's a cooler thing to have a really cool car with a lot of miles versus a really cool car with no miles on it, because that means you actually got to enjoy the car, and like you got to actually like use it. And I feel like it's cooler to say, like, if you had a Ferrari, it's cooler to say that you're the person that has driven this Ferrari more than anybody ever has, versus someone that says that they have a 30-mile like Ferrari 458 like Speciale. What's the point of having it if you don't drive it? And so the previous owners have loved and driven the crap out of this car already, and I say we don't stop that, and let's just keep driving it and enjoying it. So the SD card filled up on the camera, so I don't really remember what I was saying. It stopped recording, which is awesome. But I'd love to have this be like, you know, like the car, like the first car of the channel, and have everybody's like input with it that are here and like go on the journey together. I think it'd just be so awesome. So I want you to let me know down below what you'd like to see happen to the E28. Give me suggestions of what I should do, maybe something I haven't mentioned here today that would be a really cool thing to try. I'm all ears. I'm definitely open to hearing like what you guys want to do with the car. And yeah, I'm just so excited to work on this thing and have this like really cool old vintage BMW just to like get to drive around, get to, you know, build for you guys and like to have for myself, and it'll just be such a fun thing to do. So I'm really excited to have you guys on this journey. But I think we're gonna wrap up today's video right there. I'm gonna just keep enjoying the sunset, driving the car around, and yeah, it's just, I'm so happy I have this car. But so thank you so much for watching today's videos. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to spend with me. I really appreciate you being here, and I really hope I catch you in the next video.